Well, hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Tuesday show. How are you guys doing today? The weekend went by so fast this week. I don't know about you guys, but to me, it's just flying. Like, I can't believe next month we're already halfway done with the year. This is insane. But welcome back. For those of you that are new here today, my name is Jackie Gonzalez. I am a travel advisor for Expedia Cruises. If you guys are here for the longest, welcome back, everybody. So happy to have you guys back. Today, we're going to be talking about a great topic, one that a lot of people has been asking a whole lot. And being that Carnival is out there in everybody's radar right now for many different situations that's been going on with Carnival, um, I just wanted to say, you know what? It is a good time to talk about the 5 cruise lines that Carnival guests are booking. Most of you maybe might know by now which ones they're booking. A lot of my clients have canceled and rebooked on a different company altogether. And for many different reasons, everybody has their reasons as to, why they're doing what they're doing. But a lot has to do with, the loyalty program situation that we've been hearing since, last year and the changes that are coming in new. I don't know how many of you guys that are here in the channel today have received, if you guys have been a Carnival or has like some sort, like whether you're red, gold, platinum, or diamond, you should have gotten an email where you need to supposedly click in there and keep your status. I'm not sure how many of you guys have received that email, but if you guys did not know about that, you guys might want to check your email because you have either you opt in or you opt out completely. So welcome in, Queen of Disney. Welcome in, my love, and thank you so much for being here with us today. And everybody that is in coming in that does not comment, thank you guys for coming to the channel and spending this time with me. There's a lot to unpack today. There's different cruise lines that we're going to be talking about, and the reasons why people are canceling their cruises and going to a different cruise line altogether. So some of these cruise lines, you might want to say, wow, if they were in Carnival, how come they're booking there? Some of them might take you a little bit by surprise because you might think that it's a little bit more than a Carnival cruise. And no, as a travel advisor, I love Carnival. I have a really good partnership and relationship with them. But, we got to talk about all these things that people are actually talking about. So with that being said, the Carnival ones don't know what I am. I think my dad used, if you did Carnival once, you probably are in the red. And that's the beginning stages. I think the main situation out there is not the diamond, because the diamonds are going to get to keep their loyalty, but the platinum. And I understand where the frustration comes from. I am one that I've traveled a lot in Carnival. I'm platinum now. I think I have a few more cruises to make it to diamond, but I'm not going to be chasing that diamond anytime soon. And even though that I am, I'm not saying bother, but it's like, after all the funds that you spend, because, you spend a lot of money on these cruises and things like that, it's a little bit aggravating. I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little bit aggravating, but all things aside, I have a really good partnership with them. I do still book Carnival for my clients, but I have seen a lot of deviation in my clients' base that are actually canceling and going elsewhere. And that's the reason why I did the show today, to bring you that information out to you guys. As you guys can see, there's a lot of controversy right now with the loyalty program, with everything that's going on between, the fights that are going on. The lady just recently that she was in a diamond line, got into it with another lady, and they were both diamonds. So they really belonged there, but the one lady thought that she didn't. So, it's just Carnival's just having a lot, one on top of the other. The situation with the scooter, the lady that fell in the water, it's just, and my heart goes out to the family because they lost a loved one. So it's just a lot going on right now that really, that they're trying to get through these uncharted waters, you can say, and they seem not to catch a break. So hopefully you guys will enjoy the show today. I'm so happy to spend some time here with you guys today. And yeah, let's get started. Let's get all this information out to you guys. And it is just a lot to unpack, for sure. A lot to unpack. So as I prepare all of this information here for you, you know, um, like I was saying, with the announcements of the Carnival Rewards, Carnival replacement of the VIFP Club loyalty program, there's been no shortage, guys, is of backlash. Like, people are pissed off, they're upset about the situation. Everybody takes it a little different than others. So for long-time cruises, the changes feels like a slap on the face after years of loyalty. Perks that once felt achievable now seem to tide, to be spending huge amounts of money. Many passengers are openly talking about walking away from the cruise line altogether. Everyone's going to Lagomar, right? Everybody's going to Lagomar. And they're not just venting, guys, online. It's a lot of loyal Carnival cruises are already looking seriously at other cruise lines instead. And after digging through, through a lot of information, reactions, I've been looking at the news, looking at everything, and a few of the favorites keep coming up again and again. So I was going through my spreadsheet because I could see everybody. We have a system where we can actually see where do we book the most and where's everybody going to. And the number one cruise line, and we're going to start with this one. And I know it's going to be, hey, Scott, thank you so much for being here. No, you're not late. We just started the show, but thank you so much for being here. The number one cruise line, and this shouldn't be even be a question, is where Carnival Cruise Lines customers or customer base is going to, is MSC Cruises. That's something that everybody knows. Why it's good for Carnival fans. One of the cheapest cruise lines in the U.S. market, offers status match from most of their cruise lines, including Carnival, fun ship with water parks, ropes courses, and more. What it might not suit Carnival cruises, you might ask. European style service and dining can feel a little different. Not a high energy as Carnival, entertainment is more reserved. Some guests find the onboard experience a bit inconsistent. That's information that I have found online. MSC Cruise Line has made a huge wave with the U.S. market in the recent years, and it is no surprise that the Carnival guests are giving them a look. And I'll be very honest with you. I've been on World America. I've been on the Grandiosa. I've seen the Seashore. And yeah, they're not a Carnival fun ship, but they're getting there. They know that their customer base is changing. They know that their clientele, most of their clientels are coming in from Carnival, so they want to make them feel welcome in their ships. And on World America, they actually did a lot of kind of like fun things, like especially for the sail away party and things like that. It was great. I actually, if I didn't see that I was on an MSC ship, I could have say it felt like a little bit like a Carnival ship. So they're getting there, and the people are having a great time. They're playing the music that they like. So it's a win-win for everybody, if you put it that way. MSC prices are still in line with what a lot of Carnival guests are used to paying, and that is true, Scott. That is very true. And one of the cool things I also see that why the people are shifting a lot to MSC. It's one, like Scott was saying, is the price. Think about it. For you can sail, like I have my group cruise for World Atlantic, and for $2,800 you can sail on an ocean view balcony for a 7-day cruise. if you were to go to Carnival today, you might find a balcony in that price, maybe on the older ships, but not on the newer ship. And you might, you might in the newer ships, you might be looking more into kind of like an inside or an ocean view. So the price difference is quite a bit of a good space. I could say for MSC, they're doing what they're supposed to do, and especially for those 3 and 4 day cruises that people love, or maybe some people call them the booze cruise. Um, you can find those. Like today, I looked for one for a customer of mine for August 30th, and it was $597 for 2 passengers interior cabin for 3 days. That's from Thursday to Sunday. So keep that in mind when you're pricing the difference between one and the other. The biggest draw, status match, is one of them. If you're a platinum or a diamond with Carnival, you can often jump straight into a higher loyalty with MSC, unlocking benefits for very first cruise, and you don't have to worry about your loyalty, changing down the road, right? So keep in mind that the MSC Status Match program is a really good thing that everybody should do, whether you are still in Carnival or you're planning on trying MSC. You should always do it, because, and just keep in mind that you get it, I think, for 36 months, and if you don't travel with them often, you can lose it. Just keep that in mind. They also are pretty affordable. We talked about that already. And with the family friendly ships like MSC Seashore, the MSC World America, is the ones that I've been to, you're familiar with energy, especially during school holidays. That said, MSC Europeans' routes are noticeable. Dining can feel a little bit slower, more traditional. Entertainment is less ruckus, and service standards can vary. So, when you're talking about MSC, I love all of their shows. I think they have really good shows. We're not going to say that they're like the Royal Caribbean shows or anything like that, but they have really great shows on there. And if you're looking for the exact Carnival clone, this isn't it, but you're saving money and keeping perks and goals. They're worth a look. So yeah, guys. So just think about that when you are looking into moving to another cruise line. That's why I always tell everybody all the time, even my customers, don't just stick to one cruise line. Just try to move into different ones, because you might find something completely different or something that you might be missing in one of them. For number two, when I was doing this research, for number two, Virgin Voyage. And you might say, Virgin Voyage. Yeah, Virgin Voyage. A lot of people are going into Virgin from Carnival, and for many different reasons. So why isn't good for Carnival fans? Why is Virgin is not good for Carnival fans? Offers Why it's good. I'm sorry. Why it's Virgin good. I'm so sorry, for Carnival fans. Offers status match through the Deep Blue Extras, loyalty tier, ultra modern ships with great party vibe, no kids on board, just adults relaxing and enjoying themselves. Why it might not be suitable for Carnival cruisers, adults only, because you got families that have little kids. So no families or kids allowed. Pricing is higher, especially up front. Through more is included. A different kind of fun, more cheek than cheeky. So just keep that in mind. And Virgin Voyage is one of the newer players in the cruise game, but they've made a splash, especially with the adults who love food, cocktails, and a bit of flair. Just think about this. When you book a Virgin Voyage cruise, it's kind of like an all included. They don't do the nickel and diming kind of thing. It's all included. Now it's a little bit different, because before they used to include the gratuities. Now they took the gratuities out. So, and some of them are all included, and some of them they give you a bar tab. So keep those in mind. And depending if you're into the deep blue, then maybe if you're a good sailor and been there for the longest, you get also other perks with Virgin. If you are Carnival fans who cruise without kids and love a good time, Virgin might feel like a grown-up version of what you already love. There's still live music, themed parties, energetic shows, but the whole thing feels more curated, more premium. I've never been on a Virgin cruise, so I don't know exactly how the vibe feels on Virgin. But the big caveat is that that they're an adults only, and so families are out of luck in Virgin. And while pricing can seem a little bit high first glance, it does include like things like Wi-Fi, gratuities. Well, gratuities is no longer included. This was a long time ago. And all dining venues, which Carnival doesn't. Like all of their specialty venues are all included. So you don't have to worry about, like I said, the nickel and diming of every single different venue for you to try. That's the only thing when it comes about Virgin, but Virgin is an adult only cruise ship. There's no kids allowed. I think, if I'm not mistaken, a while back, I think you could have brought your kid up to 18 years of age at one point, and it was short lived. It was not like if it was like for a long time. And there are the other major cruise lines offering status match, so Carnival guests who are platinum or diamond can start enjoying enhanced perks right away. So they also do a status match at Virgin. So if you're looking to do the status match, just go to Virgin Voyage Sailing Club and include your status match there if that's something that you might be interested in. If you guys are watching the show right now, leave it in the comments if you want to. You don't have to, or if you're watching the replay, leave it in the comments. Were you booked in Carnival and because of the loyalty plan you decided to leave, or are you just looking for something else other than Carnival because of everything that's going on? I would like to know your opinion on how do you feel about the whole situation with Carnival, or you might just not care. Like you might just say, you know what, I really don't care if they take whatever. I'm going to still cruise with Carnival and have a great old time. And we're just going to keep it the way it is. So, however, if you are a Carnival cruiser who likes to order drinks package, you are out of luck. Virgin Voyage doesn't offer them throughout. They can get you the bonus bar tap credit by loading on your account in advance. Compared to Carnival, Virgin Voyage is definitely a shift in tone, less hairy chest contest, more rooftop yoga. So is Carnival like Disney? No, it's not like Disney. Disney is a little bit different than Carnival, Samara. So they're very different. And Disney is more, even though Disney is more of a family oriented, they don't have like the parties that Carnival has and things like that. So yeah, Disney is very different. It's at a different level altogether than Carnival. Is it true not to? Hold on. Is it true? Hold on. Let me read it over here. Is it true donuts are not free in Carnival and on the mess? I don't know if they are or not. I haven't been on a Carnival ship in a while, to be honest with you. So I don't know if they are or not. But that would be crazy if they actually charge for a donut. I know that when I went the last time on the Carnival celebration, they were charging for the empanadas. I think it was like $1 and change or $2 for the empanada. And even though that I tried two of them, they were not like all there, so I wouldn't pay for them again. But the Carnival new ships do have more variety of eating than any of their smaller ships in the fleet. I heard that they do let me. Oh my God, Queen. So let's go with the third one, and this one is one that we know a lot of people are going here. It's Royal Caribbean. So why is Royal good for Carnival fans? A very similar cruise experience, lively ships, family funs, upbeat vibe, more onboard features, surfing, zip lines, robot bartenders, where the robot bartenders are going away. Now they're bringing the parrot bar there. Huge global fleet with loads of itinerary options. Why it might not be suitable for Carnival cruises, usually more expensive than Carnival, especially for smaller itineraries. You're starting your loyalty status from scratch. They do not do a status match in Royal. When they say a little bit on the higher end, yes, they're a little bit on the higher end when it comes to their cruise price. But Royal is Royal, and what you get in Royal is class. You get the dining is really good. The shows are magnificent, so you're getting a higher level of excellency. You can put when it comes to Royal. So if Carnival is the party cruise line, Royal Caribbean is slightly shinier, slightly more advanced cousin, you can say. There is a lot of overlap. The family-friendly ships, upbeat entertainment, relaxed dress codes, but Royal Caribbean ups and with the larger ships and more ambitious features like Icon of the Seas is practically a floating resort with 7 pools, water park, and Central Park on board. The downside is the price. They're generally more expensive with the Carnival, even with their itineraries, and are most almost identical. And you'll be starting from zero on the Crown and Anchor loyalty ladder. But if you're happy to spend a little more and want that family energy with bigger ships and more toys, Royal Caribbean is an easy next step. Hello, Miss Margot. Welcome back from Tokyo. I think you were in Tokyo or something like that. You were up there. So welcome back. It's always nice to have you back on the show. Hopefully you're back in Alaska. But yeah, so Royal is one of those, Royal is always going to be Royal. And when you're making that payment, you're making a payment for a premium class kind of ship, even though that you have Celebrity, and then you have the Silver Seas, and then you have the Costa Cruises, and everything on the higher end, the Explorer and all of that, which are premium class. But when you're looking at the actual what you get for your money, I think it's better. It's better. Even though that I've been on Royal Caribbean, I have not been on Virgin. I've been on many Carnivals. I've been on MSC. I've been on Holland. And which one else? Let me see. And Norwegian. Norwegian is another one that I've been on. And they're all great. All these cruise lines offer you something completely different for different types of people and personalities and families and different family needs. But if you're looking for like people with that has like autistic children and things like that, Royal, I feel that does it better when it comes to stuff like that for their kids. And they have more STEM programs and things like that for the kids to enjoy on their ships. So keep that in mind, when you're actually trying to figure out as a family, for if you're the mom or the dad trying to figure out for a vacation for your family, keep those things in mind, because that's going to help you out quite a bit. Okay, so Margot says here, as you know, I don't kick any cruise out of the Carnival is not trendy as the lowest price anymore. And if you take their 100 per person drink package. That is true, Margot. I do agree with you there. I agree with you there, especially that we work for the industry. We have a lot of great partnerships with all of the cruise lines and things like that. But sometimes, when you got to talk about these kinds of situations, you got to talk about them. Like I said, it's not that I will never travel Carnival, because of course I will travel Carnival. There's a lot of new Carnival ships that are coming down the road, and we got to have to go check them out, get the feels and all of that, and see what they're all about. So for number 4, it's Norwegian Cruise Line. So the NCL. So a lot of people ask, so why is Carnival good? Carnival fans, why is NCL good for Carnival fans? Similar casual vibe, freestyle cruising is very relaxed, comparable itineraries with specialty, especially in the Caribbean, newer ships packed with fun features and entertainment. And why it might not suit the Carnival customers, higher prices, especially when you're starting to add the extras. No status match. Loyalty status starts from the first cruise. Entertainment can be more Broadway, less poolside. And NCL is another cruise line that appeals to the same kind of guest Carnival does. People who don't want to dress up, who likes lots of choice, and who wants a good time at sea. The freestyles approach means you can eat whenever you like, dress how you like, and build the cruise you want. And ships like Norwegian Prima, the Encore are packed with go-karts, VR gamings, and even open-air laser tag. So yeah, there you guys have it. So as coming in at number 4 is NCL. I actually been on NCL, guys. I've been on NCL, and I actually had a great time on Prima. And one of the cool things that I like about the Prima class is that deck 8. Love it because you can actually walk all around it. And even though that I think on the Luna, I think a couple of days ago or yesterday or the day before yesterday, they had an incident where one of the wall panels came down, which is one of those, crazy incidents that may happen once in a lifetime kind of thing, because I've never heard of something like that happening on another cruise. But if you have, put it on the comments and let me know when and where. I think NCL is also a great choice for Carnival people to go for, especially now that NCL is bringing in their new, their Stirrup K. They're actually revamping. They're bringing in new stuff. They're actually putting an actual port there. No longer tendering service and things like that. Hey, Scotty J Travels. Hello, hello. So there's many great qualities for NCL too, for people to check that out. Sometimes, guys, just because I think a lot of the customers focus on one cruise line, and then they look at, like, if you mention like a Celebrity or an NCL or a Royal, like, oh my God, I can't travel on that because they're so expensive. But there's really a lot of great deals out there. If you can find a great deal, you'll be able to travel on one of these cruises no different than you were traveling on a Carnival ship. And sometimes you even pay less, weirdly so. So, it's just a matter of, sitting down and doing that, looking into all of that. But if you don't want to do all of that, that's the reason why we're here, the travel advisors. You just call us, let us know, hey, I'm looking into this. Can you get me some options? This is my budget. And we can look into that for you guys. So just keep that in mind. We don't charge you for that kind of stuff to do the research for you guys, in that perspective. So coming in at number 5, and then we're just going to open the floor up because I wanted to kind of like get these out of the way, like the first 30 minutes, and then spend the last 30 minutes talking about the different situations here. It's one of my favorite cruise lines, Carnival Celebrity Cruises. And you might say, oh my God, Jackie, that is crazy. How are you going to go from Carnival to Celebrity? You can actually do Celebrity for the price of a Carnival cruise. The prices are there and there's really good deals. So why is it good for Carnival fans? Offers more premium, relaxed cruise experience, great for those who want upgrades from Carnival fun focused style, exceptional dining and service. And why it might not be so suitable for Carnival cruises: much quieter, less party, more peaceful, no status match from Carnival, higher pricing, especially with extra. And that's not really true, because when I was looking at the information, I said, I'll put it in there, but that's not really true. Celebrity cruises, and the reason why I know this, I have a customer. She's actually going on Celebrity, I think the 18th of this month. And for 2 people on an ocean view, she's not doing a balcony. It was like $600 on a Carnival, on a Celebrity cruise. So keep that in mind, when you're thinking about the different types of cruise lines. Don't just like put them to the side because you think they're expensive. Take a look at it. Take a peek. It might surprise you. So Celebrity Cruises isn't a direct Carnival competitor. It's never been one, and they're not trying to be. But for some Carnival fans who feel the magic is gone, this is the cruise line they're growing into. Because think about it, a lot of the older folks, might want something more relaxing, more chill back. Or you might have the millennials and things like that are, or the Gen X that wants to be in something more posh and something more comfy and relaxing, and the vibe is different, and they might enjoy that kind of cruise. 600, the Summit. I'm telling you, the Reflection, that I think they're going on the Celebrity Reflection, and that was like $600, guys. It's crazy. Even the Mustard, though, $600, the Summit or the Constellation. So the prices are out there. If you look for them, they're out there. Celebrity ships are chic, food focused and calm. Entertainment is polished. The crowds tend to skew older, and everything is just feels touch more elegant. It has a little more of an elegant touch to it. But if you love Carnival for the music, the trivia, the late night pizzas, and the party energy, Celebrity might feel like a step too far in that other direction. Even though the Celebrity has amazing pizza, not like MSC. MSC has, I think, to me so far is the best pizza at sea. But they do have trivia, they have late night pizza, they have music and all of that. Celebrity does all of that stuff. So if you're still looking for a change and don't mind paying more for a little bit of more luxury, this might surprise you. So, and now I'm going to go into a little bit of honorable mentions, because we got to give some honorable mentions to other people, right? So let's go with the Princess Cruise Line. We got Princess Margot on her house, which Margot loves to be called Princess Margot. So Princess Cruises and Holland America Line. Both of these are technically still part of Carnival Corporation family, so they may not feel like much of a change. And if you're trying to move away from Carnival brand entirely, why are they good? You still get your shareholder onboard credit if you own Carnival Corporation stock. A more relaxed atmosphere, ideal if you want to cruise in peace. Great for Alaska, Europe, and longer itineraries. And why it might not be good for Carnival fans? Still part of the Carnival Corporation group, much quieter, very little in way of high energy nightlife and entertainment, tends to appeal to the older guest. I don't know, because I do a lot of bookings for both Holland and Princess, and I do see guests that are not like really like on the older side. So just keeping in mind, and Holland is trying to change a little bit. They're trying to revamp to bring in the younger crowds into their ships. So if you're moving from Carnival but want to keep your shareholder perks, Princess and Holland Princess or Holland America are solid options for you. But don't expect the same atmosphere. They are laid back, traditional cruise lines with a more refined tone. Think afternoon tea and enrichment lectures rather than deck parties and DJ sets. And, to end this whole presentation for you guys, the Lunch of Carnival Rewards has shaken things up. And not many longtime fans, if it's the push, they're needing to start exploring other cruise lines, whether you're looking to keep your perks via the status match or you're just curious to try something new. There are plenty options out there. Some feel familiar and others offer a total different experience. And that is the beauty of cruising today. And there's something for everyone. Just keep in mind that Carnival is not the only cruise line out there that is keeping their loyalty loyal. So just keep in mind that you have Royal Caribbean, you have MSC that you can status match, you have Virgin Voyage that you can status match, you have NCL that you will have to start your actual, loyalty with them. But as far as we know, they're not going to be changing their status match, especially with all this commotion that Carnival has done. They're probably looking at that like, yeah, we're not going to try that. So, hey, Miss Katie, I'm sorry. Hey, hello, Miss Katie. Thank you so much for being here as a friend of the house for dinner, but wanted to say hello. Hello, my love. Enjoy your dinner, Miss Katie. But yeah, guys, so I want to be able to open the floor for the rest of the show. But before I do that, I have a brief announcement I want to share with you guys.
Good afternoon, everybody. We've got an exciting group cruise announcement for you. This time around, it's going to be a very special occasion, as we have managed to get an invite to the inaugural sailing of the one and only MSC World Atlantic. This time around, we'll be sailing out from Port Canaveral in Orlando, Florida on November 13th, 2027. From there, the ship will be docking at Nassau in the Bahamas on the 14th and MSC's private Ocean Cay Marine Reserve on the 15th. After that, there'll be a relaxing day at sea where you can be one of the first people to explore this lovely new ship. On the 17th, they'll be docking in Cozumel, Mexico, followed by Costa Maya in Mexico on the 18th. From there, a single day at sea will be taking you back to Orlando to conclude the inaugural sailing. Be sure to book your cabins quick, as inaugurals like this tend to sell out really fast. You can contact us at jagonzalez@expediacruises.com or call us directly at 813-608-2935. We hope to see you on board with us.
Well, there you guys have it. I hope to see you guys on board of the World America. We're going to have a great time together. But yeah, going back into the whole conversation of all the different ships, guys, just try at least as many ships as you can, or as companies, like not just one ship, but companies out there. Hey, the Cam Fam Texas, hello and welcome in. Thank you so much for being here. Just try them as many as you can until you find where you're happy at. And you might have to start up from scratch, but at least you'll be able to be happy and enjoy, a brand new cruise line that you enjoy. And if you still enjoy Carnival, then just continue to do Carnival, because Carnival is great. Like I said, I'm still going to enjoy Carnival whenever I get a chance to climb on one of those Carnival cruise ships. Oh my God, I can speak today. It's been a long day. And I'm just going to have a great time whenever I do go. But if that's not your cup of tea anymore, then you have all the other ships or companies that are so happy to have your business and welcome you in with lots of love. Even if you're doing a status match, and even if you've never tried MSC, do their status match and get on one of their ships. I don't know if you guys knew, but if you do a status match with MSC, you get 5% off of your cruise. And depending on, as you grow with the company, I think the blue, I know they have the diamond, but they have, I think, blue diamond, I think is what they call. I could be wrong. I don't have it in front of me. I think they get up to 15% off on their cruises. And it's not one cruise, it's every cruise that they take. So keep those in mind, when you're trying to do the status match. If you want to try Virgin, then they do status match there as well. So keep that in mind. That Virgin is more of a all included. All specialty dinings are included with Virgin. So that might be something that you're interested in if it's just you and your husband, or you and your significant other. But there's no children allowed there. So that's kind of like the side thing. If you're looking more into a family, I will say Royal Caribbean and CL. MSC will be a good fit for you. If you're a person that you love Broadway shows and things like that, definitely Royal Caribbean through and through. If you're a person that you enjoy more of a relaxed vibe and a little bit of more of a posh feel, then Celebrity Cruise Lines is the one that might be for you. So, and you have Holland America, you got Princess, there's so many cruise companies out there, most of them that you probably never heard before. I've been wanting to maybe try and check out the Explorer out there. So that's another, it's part of MSC, but it's their higher class brand. So I'm thinking of checking them out soon. Possibly next year, all depending on how my schedule works for next year. So that's maybe another option if you are doing something like that, unless you want to do some more like expedition cruises where you can go and do Antarctica and things like that. They have expedition cruises where it's like smaller, like 100 and something cabins, or maybe a river cruise if that's something that you're into. And I've been reading a lot about river cruising. And to be honest with you guys, I think it's a great experience. It's not like an actual cruise, like a cruise line, like an ocean cruise, you can say. It's more calm, but you get to see a whole lot of the world that you can't see through an ocean cruise liner. So keep that in mind. If that's something that maybe you're retiring, might be doing something like that for your retirement, or you're saving for something really cool that you want to do, maybe that's the route you might want to take for something like that. And just keep in mind that not all the cruise line stops in the same destination. Sometimes you have to move from one cruise line to another in order to go to that specific destination. or you sometimes have to actually fly out to, let's say, San Juan. I think the World America and the World Europa is actually leaving out of, I think they're in oh my god, I think it's not Saint Martin. It's there's somewhere out there. I think it's Martinique. I think it's Martinique where they're actually boarding because of the situation and with Iran and everything. They brought her over here to the Caribbean. But in order for you to travel on World Europa, which is the sister to the World America, you have to travel to Martinique. I think that's where they're um, departing. And if you travel to Martinique, let's say you fly from here to Martinique, get on the World Europa, that World Europa is going to take you to other islands that you've never been in the Caribbean. So if you're like me, that I want to be able to go everywhere in the Caribbean and then go to Europe and then, Asia and things like that, then that might be the thing that you need to do. Some of these cruise lines like Norwegian and some of them, they go out of Buenos Aires to do their expedition cruises, like like they do all sorts of different cruises from all over the place. Or if you want to do like more of a circle cruise, like what is called a circle loop, where you start, let's say, in Los Angeles and end up back in Los Angeles. Holland America, Princess, and some other cruise lines are actually having itineraries like from 40, 50 days at sea. And I know you're like, oh my God, that's like a long, but this is like for people that like want to explore, maybe live on the ship for a little bit and enjoy that cruise life, or are you retired? Or maybe you're saving up a whole lot of vacation and you want to do something really cool with that vacation, then that might be an itinerary that you might want to encounter. And sometimes you could do the world cruise. And I don't know if you guys know this, but yeah, when you look at the world cruise, you're either looking at anywhere between 100 and something to 275 days out at sea. But sometimes they do segments where they segment, the different, that specific world cruise into 4 segments. And you could do segment 1, 2, 3, or 4. So depending where you want to catch the ship or if you want to do the whole thing. And those bookings are completely different. They're when you're doing bookings like world cruises, it's a little bit different than the normal regular cruises that you will take. So there's different variations for everybody out there. There's not just one cruise line that you need to stick to, because that's all you know. I always tell you guys, move around, because you might find something completely different in one cruise line that you don't have on the other, and you might be missing out on something. And if you don't like it, it's all good and dandy. Then you go back to where you enjoy the most, but at least you tried it. I think I told you guys this story before. One time when I went on the Disney Fantasy, to take Sophie, she was 10 years old, to celebrate her 10th birthday. My neighbor, because I did a veranda balcony on the back of the ship. So my neighbor, she's a Disney through and through. And before was before I was a travel advisor, before YouTube and all of that. And I asked her, I said, hey, so do you only travel Disney? And she goes, yes, I will only travel Disney. I don't want to know about any other cruise line other than Disney. And that, I kept that on my mind. And I'm like, why? Like, why is it just this only brand? And I said, you don't even know what the other brands have to offer. And she's like, yeah, but I don't want to know because I love everything that Disney has. And I say, well, you know what? I've traveled on other brands and I find Disney to not be one of my top contenders. One, I'm not a drinker or anything like that, but I do know that, the adults like to drink. There is no casino on Disney, and everything on the ship is Disney related. And even the clubs is Disney related. Like the adult clubs are like Disney related kind of situations. So your environment on a Disney cruise is all Disney. So there's not really like an actual like adult where you can actually step away from all the Disney and kind of like enjoy. There's nothing like that on that ship. I'm not sure about the newer ones because I have not. That's the only one that I've done. I do want to do like possibly the Destiny or the Treasure eventually, but and I still love Disney. I'm an annual pass holder. I just went to Disney a couple of weeks ago, and I enjoy it, but I would also like to enjoy cruise on a different level, not just everything is all Disney around me. So that was the only situation. And I did went on the fantasy. The ship was beautiful. Service was spectacular. Food was amazing. I don't have any complaints when it comes to the brand because Disney knows what they're doing. But for the price of what I paid for 3 cabins on Disney, I could have easily have gone on maybe 3 or 4 Carnival cruises with just the one cruise that I took on Disney. They're very expensive and there always will be expensive no matter what, because I've never seen Disney put any specials out there or any OBC. I think the only special that they had one time was with the Disney Plus, where the kids will sail free. And other than that, I haven't heard of any other, specials or anything like that with Disney. So sorry for those of you that are Disney fanatics, especially the Queen of Disney, that she loves Disney. But it's one of those things that you got to sometimes really think, do you really want to just stay focused on one? And for that lady, she loved it, and kudos to her. That's what she wants. But I feel that she was missing out on much more than just what Disney has to offer. And I will say the same thing, not just with the cruises, but in anything that you do in life. Just because something, that doesn't mean that something out there is a little bit better that or you study or research on different things. So just keep that in mind, when checking out the cruise lines. Ask the questions. If you have a travel advisor that is helping you, ask those questions. Make sure that the travel advisor that is working with you knows what they know, because not everybody out there is a travel advisor. I'm going to put it to you that way. Some people just have the title just to have the title. Some people come into the business for the perks. Some people, come into the business because they help their families out. So now they're trying to get a little bit of a better deal. But a really good travel advisor, and Scott is here from the Mustard Drove. He's still here. He's a travel advisor. Margot she works in our Expedia. She's a really good travel advisor. So just find the people that really putting in the effort, the people that, because maybe sometimes, guys, you might not know about this. We just came from Anchor, and Anchor is not free for us. We have to pay for all of that. And a really good travel advisor will pay for all these other things that you got to go, whether you have to take a seminar, whether you take a class. Some of these things, cost a lot of money, and it's no different than you purchasing. Yeah, we get a perk because we get a little bit of a discount, but we still got to pay to go take those seminars. We had to pay to go on Anchor, and all of those things. So, and when you have all of that knowledge and you bring all of that knowledge to the customer, that is a 100%, plus for you as a client, because that person is bringing to the table a whole lot of stuff that you probably never knew about. And if you want to go the extra mile and find that travel advisor, right, that goes the extra mile for you, like depending on their hours of operation, how do they work just Monday through Friday? Do they work on the weekends? So that's a perk, on your side. What is their knowledge? How much is it going to cost me? We're, at least here in Expedia, we're all free. We don't charge you anything for our services. How long you been in the business? Because look at all the newses that you hear, all these people scamming all sorts of people out there, and it's sad. It makes me upset, and it's sad because, people don't realize that as a travel advisor, I've seen so many different things come through my desk. And for some people, they could take maybe anywhere between 5 to 6 or 7 vacations a year. For a family, it could be their only vacation they take a year. For a family, it could be their only savings for this specific situation. And you want to make sure that it goes flawless for that family. And, you got to make sure you take that time with that client that you're helping, get to where they need to get, especially if they're a first time cruiser. You got to make sure that they know how to log on, that they know how to do their check-in. You don't want to miss a step, because then that ruins their vacation. So just keep in mind that when you're putting yourself out there as a travel advisor, just give it your all, give it everything that you have. um, Teach everybody you can about all the different cruise lines that are out there. Like I said, I have a really amazing partnership with all of them. I love Carnival, I love NCL, I love Royal Caribbean, Virgin Voyage, which I've never been, Princess. I have a really good relationship with everybody. And this show is not about mocking Carnival in any which way or in any shape or form. It's just the news that is out there, the reality of it. And that's what the people in the street, they're upset. People are upset, and I'm one of those people, because regardless if I'm a travel advisor, I'm also their customer. And that also affected me in a way. The only thing that I don't see it in that perspective, because I don't travel in Carnival only at this time in my life, because I travel in all the different brands. So yeah, you will see me on another Carnival cruise, whenever it is, and you'll see me on a different type of all kinds of ships. And I love to showcase all of the ships out there, because I feel that all the brands need to be seen and need to be known, out there. That things happen, yeah, things happen, but not everything happens in Carnival. Things have happened in Royal. It has happened in Princess. It happened now. The situation is that, sometimes it just gets, put out there more. And especially now that everybody carries a camera, everybody's vlogging or TikToking or Instagramming or Facebooking or whatever it is. It's everything is out there. You don't have Nobody right now in this world has any type of like I would say, you're out there. If you're walking in the street and you get vlogged, you're out there. So just keep that in mind. So things are going to happen in many different forms and waves. I don't know if you guys know that iPhone just announced that they're going to be bringing some new glasses. Hey, Miss Edna. Hello, Mama. Hello. Welcome in. They're bringing in their new iPhone glasses, just like the Meta glasses. They're supposed to be way better than Meta. So who knows what that's going to show up and look like. I've been in the street where I've seen people with their Meta glasses, walking around and all of that stuff. Now, one thing that I think that you will never see on my show, I will never bash any cruise line. I will never, do something like that or talk bad about something crazy like that, because I always want to keep my channel, clean from all of that kind of stuff and all of that negativity. I find that we need to be positive. We need positivity in this world, and I think we need positive vibes out there. And yeah, it might be like what we're talking about, the situation with Carnival, but that's not going in and bashing Carnival, because Carnival is a great corporation that they're going through a situation. Everybody goes through a situation. We all do as human beings, and then it just eventually goes away, and we just keep moving forward. And that's what they're doing right now. They're just moving forward. They're chucking along. But we really do need more kindness in the world, and we need to love on each other. That's what I want to kind of like project in my YouTube channel: love, happiness, and all of that. And hopefully that whenever you see one of my vlogs, you enjoy it, the fun things that we do, because that's what we bring. We bring out, love and fun to you guys, and hopefully it makes you smile every so often with my crazy self and things that I do, or the misspelled words that I say and different things like that. It's just a matter of, enjoyment, you can say. And like the queen of Disney would say, I will book it real good. Every single day I'm booking it real good here. Guys, don't forget, oh my God, tomorrow's the 20th already. Tomorrow, we have the Across the Wave show at 8 p.m. We're going to be coming from the port of Mumbai. So we're going to be going to that port, not going specifically, but we're going to be talking about that port. And I'm just so happy because we haven't done Mumbai. I've been researching about it. It's a lot of great, cool stuff. So come back tomorrow, 8 p.m., and we're going to have a great time together. Like always, for those of you that never comment, thank you guys so much for spending a whole hour with me. Hopefully, this show was information for you guys. If there's something that you want me to talk about, let me know. If you want to come to my show, let me know too. I would love to have you in my show and bring you along, and we can chit chat and get to have people know you. Um, Hopefully I have, oh look, there's my husband. Hopefully I have some people coming into the show this year. Is that I've been just busy with a lot of different things, and I'm still in this other office. Eventually, hopefully by, I'm hoping that by our 3rd year anniversary, which is June 22nd, of our YouTube anniversary, I am in my YouTube studio back again. We're still trying to get everything together. I'm just waiting for my daughter to come. I got to get some shelving done in there, and the she's bringing in my new travel adventures sign, and she's making it for me. So she won't be. I won't see her until the end of this month, and then I'm going to be traveling with her in June. So hopefully by June 22nd, which is our 3rd year anniversary, and I want to do something really fun for our 3rd year anniversary. I want to not only do something fun, but I'm also want to give away some stuff to you guys, and we're going to have a really cool party that day, and we're going to enjoy. I'm going to see if what day that is June 22nd. Let me see. Hold on, guys. Let me take a quick. Oh, that's a Monday. So I guess we're going to celebrate it on a Tuesday, because Monday is the 22nd. So Tuesday, the 23rd, is when we're going to celebrate our 3rd year anniversary. So I want to do some giveaways. We're going to have a great time. I'm going to see if maybe Jeffy can come over and we can just celebrate, and maybe have Martine here, and we can all celebrate the 3 years of travel adventure. Oh my God, I can't believe it's 3 years already. This is insane. Like the other day I was looking at it and I'm like, oh my God, 3 years. It's like time just flies, guys. Time is just flying. But we want to do something fun and festive for you guys and for the community. And we're just going to keep on growing the community. And we're just working on trying to get new stuff, new projects out there. So eventually, with time, I can talk about the projects and all of that stuff. But yeah, so hopefully you guys are having a great Tuesday. Tomorrow, guys, don't forget at 8 p.m., we're having the Across the Way show from the port of Mumbai. That is with my host, Jeffy from Escapades with Jeffy, and Keith from Cruising with Keith. We're going to be talking about that port tomorrow and enjoying some time with you guys. And like always, guys, I love you guys all to the moon and back for sure. May God bless each and every one of you guys. Stay safe. Enjoy your evening. And I will see you guys again tomorrow at 8 p.m. at Across the Wave. Love you guys. Toodaloo. Hasta luego. Arrivederci, I think it is. Ta-ta for now, right?